Hi there, this is Anna from Anna Aspnes Designs, and I'm back with a new video. This one is going to walk you through an artsy template album by Anna Aspnes Designs, and the latest release is Watercolor Template Album number 8. So I'm going to be using that as an example as I walk you through the use of these templates. So you can see on my screen that there are a total of 20 templates. These templates are created in 12 by 12 inch format so that you can print these pages individually as single spreads, or you can put two templates together to create a double page spread. And these collections are great for creating complete projects that you perhaps want to have printed in a photo book or album. These can include travel albums or events such as birthdays, anniversaries. Definitely recommend them for those events that have a definite start and finish. And in fact, this particular collection coordinates with the previous watercolor template album number 7. So in essence, you can use the templates together to create a 40-page project if you choose to do so. So you'll notice that we have 10 different folders, and there are 2 templates included in each folder. I include the PSD file for use in Photoshop and Photoshop Elements, and then a low resolution JPEG image so you can see what the template looks like on your computer. You'll also notice that in part A, I've included the preview, the terms of use, and you'll notice that we start with page 2. Page 1 and 20 are always included as separate templates in the last folder of the album. So we have page 1 here, and then we have page 20. And then I also include a photo book cover set, and this is designed to specifically be used with Peekaboo photo books. You may be able to modify this and use it with other printing providers. So let's go ahead and take a look at one of these templates. I'm going to go ahead and bring in page number 2. This is the second page of the album, and you can see that we have these blue lines that go vertically and horizontally around the edges of the page. These are printing guides, and they're designed to help you when you design your pages. When you send a page to a photo book printing company, they use a full bleed printing process. This means that your pages will be cropped at the edges of the page, 1/4 of an inch around the edge, and then 1/2 an inch where the page meets the spine of the book. And so I have provided those guides for you to guide the placement of your elements and ensure that you don't have any important details encroaching on the outside of those guides. You'll also notice that we have a photo blends clipping mask to which you will clip your primary photo or your focal photo, and then you have a number of frames to which you can clip your images. And you can do this. I'm going to go ahead and access a photo that I prepared. This is a photo that I had taken with my family a couple of weeks ago when I was out for my birthday brunch, and I want to show you how you clip a photo to the photo spots in the artsy template albums. So you're going to select the Move tool in the Tools panel regardless of whether you're in Photoshop or Photoshop Elements. Notice when you select these tools, the options change at the top of your screen if you're working in Photoshop, or the bottom of your screen if you're working in Photoshop Elements. You want to make sure you have the auto select option checked. And then you're going to simply click on the layer to which you want to add your photo. So if I want to add it to the Photo Blends clipping mask, then I'm going to click on the mask. If I want to add it to the frame, I'm going to click on the gray area or the mask area of any of the frames. And notice when I do that, you get this blue bounding box around the edge, which shows that I have that particular layer selected. And notice as I'm clicking around, when I click on one of these layers, the corresponding layer in the layers panel is automatically selected. I'm then going to select my photo. I'm going to click down, hold the left mouse button, drag, and then release that left mouse button to drop that photo directly on top of the mask that I selected. You can see that in the layers panel here. I'm going to go ahead and just minimize this photo. And then we are going to make this photo fit by using the transform controls. Click on the corner and then drag inward to resize the photo to fit within the frame. And when you've got it how you want it, you can click on the check mark at the top of your screen in Photoshop or on the bounding box if you're working in Elements. And then you're going to go to Layer, Create Clipping Mask. And that is also the case in Photoshop Elements. And we're going to do the same thing now with the Photo Blends Clipping Mask. I'm going to go ahead and reselect that photo, drag it into my workspace, and I can actually drop it directly onto my canvas. And then I'm going to go to Layer, Create Clipping Mask, and we're going to go ahead and resize that photo to fit within the parameters of the mask. Now, if you clip a photo to a mask and you see a little bit of distressing over the subjects of your photo, you can simply select the mask layer, select the paintbrush tool from the tools panel. Your options again will change at the top of your screen in Photoshop or the bottom of your screen in Elements. And then you can go ahead and select a soft round brush, which is available to you in both Photoshop and Photoshop Elements. You want to increase the size to about 180 pixels, perhaps a little bit more. You can always hover the paintbrush tool over your photo so that you can see how big your brush tip is. And then you're going to paint directly onto the mask. And you can see as I do this, that distortion is going away. And if we increase the size of this brush, then we can get more blending effects. So you can also reduce the opacity if you want to go too big. But you can paint in those areas like that. Once you have all of the frame layers filled with photos, you can then move on to recoloring the stains. The stains are designed to contain the image and create the artsy effect and allow the blended photo to work with your chosen background. Ideally, you want your stains to be the same color as some of the colors in your photos. In this case, the black works quite well. But say, for example, I want to use brown, then I would select the stain. And this time we're going to recolor it by going to Edit, Fill, ensure that your Preserve Transparency box is checked. You're going to select the color option from the contents menu, click on an area of your photo. You can go ahead and make it darker manually or lighter if you choose to do so. Once you have the color that you want, you can click OK, and you'll notice that when you click OK again, that stain now is converted to brown. You can do the same thing with the tapes. Go ahead and select the tape, and this is a great way to make your tapes work with your chosen background. You can go ahead and go to Edit, Fill, and in this case, because I've got nice warm brown tones, I'm going to choose a similar brown, perhaps go a bit lighter this time. Click OK. Ensure that Preserve Transparency box is checked, and now you can see that this softens the appearance of that tape. You can also apply a linear burn or a multiply blending mode. So you'd continue to go round selecting these different stains accessing your color fill option, selecting a color, and then clicking OK until you have completely recolored all of those stains. After you've finished recoloring all of your layers, you can then personalize the template by adding your own text. And to do this, you're going to select the type tool from the tools panel. Again, your options are going to change at the top or the bottom of your screen, depending on whether you're working in Photoshop or Elements. You're then going to select the type boxes that are available in the templates, select the text, and then you can simply start typing on your keyboard to add your own words. You can also change the size of these text boxes by hovering the cursor over the midpoints of the box, and you can make the text boxes narrower or wider as you need in order to accommodate your journaling. You can also add a title by either using the title that's included with the template or turning that layer off and adding one of your own. At this point, you can go ahead and save your layout for print. And to do this, you're going to go to File, Save As. You're going to save the PSD file as a different name so that you can access the layers at any time. You can also then save it as a JPEG, which you can then upload to your chosen printing provider. If you want to take these templates one step further, then you can start adding some embellishment. Let me go ahead and minimize this and go to the Layouts folder, and you can see that I have a layout by Viv Halliwell, and you can see how she has added a solid purple background from ArtPlay Palette Care in the background of her page. We go ahead and just fill a layer with white so that you can see what it would look like without that background paper. So this is the white background that's included with the template, and then she has added a slightly darker background to really showcase the whites in her images. She has also recolored her stains to purple, and you can see that she has added blending modes to those layers as well. So we've got linear burn, and she's adjusted the opacity to make them work for her. This one's set at normal at 100%. We have a white stain here, so notice how she's used white on the white edge of her photo and purple on the purple edge of her photo. She has softened her tape. Let's go ahead and select that. You can see that she's applied a linear burn blending mode, and she's lightened it by changing the color of that tape to a light gray. This is the blending mode set to normal. Let's go ahead and move that back. And then she's also added in some embellishments to add a little bit of visual interest. So we've got a couple of brads, a button, we've got some nice leaves, and a banner in the background here placed below the frames and on top of the frames just to make the layout pop. Notice too that she has also moved some of the text boxes, so you can switch off the text box layers by clicking on the eye icons in the layers panel and moving them around to make their placement work for your artistry. I'm going to go ahead and just look at a couple of other examples here. This layout is by Christy, and you can see that she used the templates pretty much as is, making use of that white background. She added a dimensional title with two different types of font, and then she also added just some simple butterflies. Notice how she's recolored those stains to coordinate with the colors in her photos. Really like how Beverly has used the white area of her photo here in order to add her title. Draws the eye in, and notice how the birds and the butterfly sort of create a visual triangle around that title. Marnie has combined the use of the templates with the ArtPlay mini palette Biblio. And so instead of using a photo blend, she has brought in a frame and used a photo in that way. And she's used the frames that go with the template and resized them. And this was a pretty brilliant usage of the template album by Margot. Notice how she has used the mask as an embellishment layer. So she has recolored those stains and photo blends layers, and she's applied blending modes to create a backdrop to her focal point, which is this extracted subject of two girls. And then for the frame, she has removed some of those frame layers and simply just left the mask layers in place and clipped papers to those masks to create this fun patchwork effect to matte her subject matter. And then finally, we have a layout by Joan here. And I really like her diverse use of different colors and photo techniques to showcase the subject in her page. One more thing that I want to show you with this particular template album, I'm going to go ahead and close these layers out. But as I said at the beginning, these templates are designed to be used in double page format. So as you go through, you can see that each of these folders contain 2 PSD files, and these are designed to work side by side. And I definitely recommend that if you are creating a complete template album, that you do work in double page format. And to do this, you're going to go into Photoshop, you're going to create a new layout, and you're going to add a width of 24 inches. In my case, these are 12 by 12 inch templates. So essentially, in order to create a double page spread, you want to double the width of the template. So if you decided that you wanted to resize these templates to 10 by 10, for example, then your width would be 20 inches. And then you're going to go ahead and add in that 12 inch, and you want to make sure you have a resolution of 300, and then you're going to go ahead and click create. And this is going to create this elongated blank canvas onto which you can drag your 2 templates. Now with the move tool selected, I like to click in the rulers, and if you don't see those on your screen, you can go to view and ensure that rulers option is checked. And then this allows me to create a guide down the center to differentiate the right side of the page from the left-hand side of the page. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select both the PSD files. In this case, I'm going to be working with pages 7 and 8, and then I'm going to drag them into my workspace. You can also go to File, Open. You're then going to select the first template in the duo. You're going to click on the first layer with the Move tool selected from the Tools panel, hold down the Shift key, and then click on that background layer. Uncheck the Auto Select option, and then go ahead and drag all of those layers and move them into position so that the edges are flush against the edges of your blank canvas. And then you can go ahead and repeat the same process with template number 7. So I'm going to this time select the bottom layer. It doesn't really matter which way around you do this. Hold down the Shift key on your keyboard, click on the last layer, and then go ahead and drag that into position. And the benefit of working with 2 pages side by side is that you can create 2 pages that match. And you'll go ahead and you'll save this as a PSD file so that you can work on the 2 pages independently, and you can re-access those layers as and when you need. And your printing provider will determine whether you can upload your prints in 12 by 12 or 24 by 12 inch format. And if you're interested in learning more about creating in double page format, or you simply want to master artsy digital design, then you will be interested in my Artsy Doubles workshop. I just completed editing the videos and the class is now available in self-paced format. There's an entire session, a whole hour plus, dedicated to using templates in your double page spreads, and lots of information on using Anna Aspnes Designs with Artsy design principles. I'll leave that link down below. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, then please don't hesitate to contact me. You can ask them in the comments section below, where everybody else can benefit from them, or you can email me at classes@annaaspnesdesigns.com. And thanks for being here. Hope you learned something today about using template albums by Anna Aspnes Designs. I'm always open to requests. I appreciate feedback, and I will hopefully see you in this space again next week. Take care.